From the MZ Studios, Dallas Virtual Studios in cyberspace, this is Deconstructing Dallas. Greetings, everyone. It's your co-host, Ryan Trimble. Hanging out, again, WFH, but hanging out with a man who's a man about town. He, of course, Shawn Williams. Shawn, good day, sir.
Good day, Ryan Trimble. I have been about town because, I don't know, for the last 2 weeks of our recordings, there's been great weather in Dallas, Texas, constantly in the 70s. I usually complain this time of year that we go from the 90s to the 60s. And so to have this, average 75 degree high for the last 2 weeks, I am about town. You're absolutely right.
Well, that is great. I'm excited for you. And yes, the weather is great, especially for PE teacher daddy. Makes life a lot easier. You can only play keep the balloon off the floor so much before things in the house get broken by 4-year-olds. So,
well, for us, Malia and I have taken our gloves out and we have just started playing catch. We started with the wiffle ball and we moved up to a rubber ball. And, a lot of times on those high flies, I'm definitely afraid that it just might get through. But she has kept from getting hit in the face so far. So I think we're doing a pretty good job.
Dad for the win. Well done. Well done. And way better than I can just see you guys playing The Floor is Lava in the living room. Isaiah'd be snuggled up on the couch watching you guys, though, watching a Dallas Fuel match or something. So.
No, yeah, he's got a whole setup with like 3 monitors. So his gaming situation has really gone up during the pandemic. Wow. For sure.
Very strong, Isaiah. Very strong. Well, Shawn, there's a lot going on in the world, COVID, election, but we're not here to talk to you all about any of that today. We instead have a really fun episode lined up for you.
Yeah, today we are going to be talking about Deep Ellum, one of the coolest, most historic places in Dallas. We're going to be talking a little bit later to Stephanie Keller Hudiburg, who is the executive director of the Deep Ellum Foundation. But, before we get into that, I think we were both kind of going down memory lane, and I was like, hey, man, we better save some of that for the air. And maybe some of it should not make it to air. But,
Indeed.
It is, a place where we can kind of reminisce because, I think we all have, any of us who've been here for a certain period of time have some sort of memory that's taken place in Deep Ellum.
Yeah, you really can't get away from it. It's a really amazing place. One of my favorite memories, Shawn, was when I was just a green legislative staffer in the district office of Dan Branch, Chairman Dan Branch. His district included Deep Ellum, District 108, and still includes Deep Ellum. But I got a call from a guy named Barry Anino, the great Barry Anino, God rest his soul. And if you knew Barry, I know a lot of people around town did know Barry. I mean, this guy was a fiery guy, but he called me because he couldn't figure out who had jurisdiction over a plot of land that was under, I guess, what is I-345, but it was kind of under where 75 changes. So we were all trying to figure out who had jurisdiction, and we ended up figuring it out, and Barry turned that into what is now an urban garden over there in Deep Ellum, and later got the dog park rolling over there kind of right near there. So it's one of my favorite memories. There's a lot of other quad parties and busing down to Deep Ellum for soirees, but like you said, some of those are best left for off air.
Fun fact, Ryan Trimble, one of the last times that I saw you in person was in Deep Ellum when we recorded the Mary Pullman interview.
Oh man. Yeah, Mari Pullman is one of the great local artists. Man, I totally forgot about that. And if Mari is a great artist. She has been working hard. I know she's been painting murals, keep your spirits up murals all over town, and you can buy a flower pot with her design on it. Check her out at Marpohl, Marpohl. little plug for a former guest there.
Yeah, and check out that episode. It was from March of this year, and we posted that the week before the office shut down. So I think that literally, because I was out a couple of days that week, so that probably was one of the last times I saw he was in Deep Ellum. And I had a birthday party. Let's see, I actually have a birthday coming up in a couple of days, and so that would have been probably 3 years ago. I had a birthday party at Off the Record where with Kevin Walker, and we had a joint birthday party, and it was a bring your own vinyl event where you could bring records and had a DJ set up and you could DJ, and I had a set for about 20 minutes. Great place, great venue downtown. I remember the Cowboys were playing that day. So much fun in Deep Ellum. And that, I'm going to stick to the on-air stories, but that's one I can definitely share with the class.
Yeah, it's such a cool place. I mean, you've got Sons of Herman Hall. I remember we did a resolution for them when it turned 100 years old, the old, dance hall and bowling alley. I mean, there's been a lot of stuff going on over there.
So I get food. Serious Pizza was something that, I can remember just putting pizzas in the trunk back in the day to take them home because the box was so big. Ice cream, tacos, festivals. I mean, it's almost like a feeling that you get.
Yeah, Kanye Rosso now. You got a lot of new guys that have embraced it down there. So, rest in peace, Barry and Nino, and everybody else. Keep enjoying Deep Ellum. It's such a fun place. So, this is a fun topic. I'm so glad that we get to talk to Stephanie today. I'm really looking forward to it.
Well, we're going to come back right after this quick break. We're going to talk to Stephanie and talk more about Deep Ellum. This is Deconstructing Dallas. Shawn Williams, Ryan Trimble. We'll be right back right after this.
Does your family love mac and cheese? If your family is anything like mine, when dinner time rolls around, your little critters are banging down the pantry door for a box of that cheesy goodness. Well, we here at Deconstructing Dallas have just the thing for you. That's right, it's Wisconsin's finest organic mac and cheese. Wisconsin's finest is made with real Wisconsin cheddar cheese and organic pasta that will satisfy all your cravings. Whether you like white cheddar shells, classic mac and yellow cheddar, or my kids' favorite safari animal shaped pasta, you can't miss with Wisconsin's finest. Find your own box of Wisconsin's finest by visiting walmart.com today and support this outstanding local Metroplex company. So what are you waiting for? Get your box of Wisconsin's finest organic mac and cheese today and get ready to hear your family say,
I love mac and cheese.
Welcome back, Deconstructing Dallas. Ryan Trimble, Shawn Williams. Shawn, I am really excited about our guest today. She is Stephanie Keller Hudiburg, the executive director of the Deep Ellum Foundation. Stephanie, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm excited to be here and to talk a little bit about what's been going on in Deep Ellum. We appreciate you having us.
Yeah, of course. Well, it's a place that I've loved and worked in and have really enjoyed. It's quite an eclectic place, so a lot of history there. But I wanted to dive into your history first. I know that you, like I, are a recovering political staffer that found your way to Texas. So can you tell us a little bit about you and your family and your history?
Absolutely. Well, I have been a bit of a tumbleweed, as you seem to have sussed out. I have a background in politics, particularly always focused on community and economic development. Cut my teeth in Boston. I was started out as a research analyst and worked my way up to being a chief of staff or a committee chair for the Committee on Community Development and Small Business there at the State House in Massachusetts, working for a Boston representative representing Southie, Dorchester, Mattapan, some really great neighborhoods. And so spent some time in DC and then found my way down to Texas. And so Deep Ellum is a great place for me to be. It's a fantastic time to be focused on community and economic development in this region overall, but especially in a historic neighborhood like ours. So,
well, Stephanie, we all have our favorite spots and memories in Deep Ellum. For me, it's a birthday party off the record, but that's not for publication today. But I was wanting to get your opinion on what makes Deep Ellum so special, and why has it been able to withstand the test of time like it has?
Well, I think you just hit the nail on the head. Everybody has a Deep Ellum story. And frankly, people feel pretty fiercely about this neighborhood, whether or not they lived here 20 years ago or, had a great birthday party like you mentioned. It is a place where people come to experience and gather, and not any single person comes away with the same experience. And part of that's because we have over 400 businesses in the district. I don't think people realize it packs quite a punch for such a small, in terms of the amount of space it actually takes up. It is a powerhouse, both from an economic perspective and really a cultural hub for the entire region. It's obviously the number one entertainment district, but it really runs the gamut from mom and pop shops, retail, but also theaters around the corner. We have a place called Culture Hole, for example. We have some of the best live music any night of the week that you can find, as well as over 100 bars and restaurants, always testing out different culinary fare. And so it's the place where people come to experience and enjoy culture locally here. And I'm glad that it seems to be one place that you've been attracted to yourself. So we might have to get to that birthday story in a little bit here.
We might. Well, I don't know. Time's running short today, but we'll see. We'll do it.
Yeah. Well, that kind of leads us into where I wanted to go next. One of my favorite spots in Deep Ellum is at Dodd's Hop House. You can see the old boundary line between the city of Dallas and Old East Dallas. And of course, the city of Dallas annexed East Dallas into Dallas back in 1890, I believe. But you can see the marker there. And when I was a legislative staffer working in the district, it was always described to me like, hey, we're still mad about being annexed. So there's, this spirit of, kind of stick it to Dallas down here in Deep Ellum, a little rebellious, a little punchy. And so tell me about the spirit right now down in Deep Ellum. Like, what's the feel on the ground? You've got a lot of action on development and everything else, but it seems like that spirit of that kind of rebellious spirit is alive and well.
Absolutely. Well, you remind me of something that one of our kind of godfathers, if you will, recently said, and that's Frank Campagna, who runs Kettle Art Gallery and is a longtime muralist and a fixture in Deep Ellum. And he said that Deep Ellum's really the bastard stepchild of Dallas, which, it's always been allowed to grow and evolve in its own way. And at this moment in time, it's really seen tremendous growth. It's been like a phoenix. It's come back time and again. It's been knocked out a time or two, and it always comes back. And this time, it's seeing incredible development from both the residential perspective as well as office. Between 2018 and 2020 alone, the number of residential units available in the district has increased by over 75%. So it's an increasingly densifying area. We're also seeing a lot of towers coming up. But when that happens, of course, there's these questions that are bubbling up in the neighborhood about, well, how is the neighborhood changing? And is this going to affect the culture and kind of the grit that we've always come to love and know in this district? And I would say that it is a community first and foremost in Deep Ellum, and there are people that have been here a long time. There are people that are new, but they've been drawn to this incredible ethos that we have in Deep Ellum that is about risk taking, that's about entrepreneurship and innovation and coming to really kind of cut your teeth and make something and turn your dream into a reality. And like I said, we've got over 400 businesses, many of them independently owned. And I think that's really the gift that keeps on giving, that is going to keep the district thriving. And it frankly is why all the residents and the kind of newer, shinier development, if you will, is attracted. And so keeping those things alive is in everybody's interest. And I think a goal for us specifically at the foundation to support those. And I would just put my little plug in here, with the pandemic, it's certainly a time where a lot of those independent shops are struggling. And so I really encourage people to continue to come out and support local businesses.